So now let's continue in the second part of the video. Here how it goes. Whenever they give you, when you've got sine squared of theta plus cos squared of theta equals to 1. Now watch how I love to do this one. I love to do it, to write it this way. I love to say 1 sine squared theta plus 1 cos squared theta gives me a 1. That's how I do it myself. Or I can also do this on the same equation. So I can say if you give me 7 sine squared theta plus 7 cos squared theta equals to 7. You can make any number. If I were to write minus 3 sine squared theta minus 3 cos squared theta equals to minus 3. Every time you can do that. Now let me show you how it works. So if I were to put k sine squared theta plus k cos squared theta, that will be the k. So I want you to get used to that. Now let's show you an example. Any number you can change. Like I said, you'll change the number. This is how you're going to do it. If you've got a number like let's say you've got a 7. 7 is the same as 7 times 1. We good, right? But you do know this represent 1. So which means you can write that this is the same as 7 open bracket, then you're gonna write sine squared of theta plus cos squared of theta, you close the bracket. When you distribute, multiply into the bracket, you're gonna end up with the answer of 7 sine squared of theta plus 7 cos squared of theta. Can you see? You can make any number. So what if the number was negative? What if the number was negative? All right, let's say it was a minus 7. So you'll write it as minus 7 times 1. There'll be a minus here. So this now becomes minus 7 sine squared minus 7 cos squared is equals to minus 7. So I said to you, whenever there is a multiplication of cos and sine, you've got sine times cos, and then there is a next term which is a number, plus or minus a number, you will change a number. We good, my friend? All right, so let's say you've got let's give you an example. Let's say you're given 1 plus, and then they write it as 2 sine of theta multiplied by cos of theta. So when you look at it, this is the multiplication of sine and cos, and there is a number. So that number needs to be changed using this method. But you are happy because you already know 1 in trigonometry. 1 in trigonometry is this one, sine squared plus cos squared. So I'm going to write it first. So I'm going to do this sine squared of theta plus cos squared of theta. And then we're going to have plus 2 sine theta multiplied by cos of theta. Now remember I said this one, sine times cos. It's a middle term. It's in the middle, this thing. So that means you can change this one. You can do this. You can actually take the cos squared theta and put it over there. You can put it over there, and then you now have that. And then when you have this, it's a trinomial, you can factorize it. If you want to, another way, you can actually put the sign at the end, and then you put the cos first. You can put the cos here, and then you put the sign there. It doesn't matter which one is first, which one is last, as long the multiplication of sine and cos is the middle, is the middle term. So you can factorize this like a trinomial, like when you're working out something like this. Ax squared plus the bx plus the c. Normally you open two pairs of bracket, you look for the factors of this one, and then you look for that one. So in our case, we're going to look for that one, and we're going to look for that one. So I'm going to do that. Now watch now. I want you to watch, to check now. So now I'm going to open the parenthesis, which is the bracket. So I open the bracket here, close this one, open the bracket, and close this one. So, all right, let me write this close to each other, just underneath there. There we go. So what times what gives me cos squared? You need a cos of theta here. The other bracket, you need a cos of theta. I'm going to show you, it's squaring a trinomial, a binomial. So this one, what times what gives me sine squared? It's going to be a sine of theta, and also the other side is going to be sine of theta. Because here it's a plus, the signs are going to be the same. Which one? The middle sign, this one, the positive one. So which means I can write that as plus and plus. You get it, dear friend? Yeah, but look at what I factorized. This thing, they look the same. The two pairs of bracket, they look exactly the same. So which means what I can do, I could have written it in like that. I'm going to use red. As cos of theta plus sine of theta, close the bracket, all squared. So it's actually that. That's what will happen. So I was trying to tell you 3 steps you need to remember. Every time tangent, change it to sine and cos. Sine squared plus cos squared equals to 1. You can solve for sine squared and factorize this is difference of 2 squares. You can solve for cos theta. You have 1 minus sine squared. It's a difference of 2 squares. And when you have something like this, a sine multiplying a cos, plus or minus a number will be changed into trigonometric ratios using the sine squared plus cos squared, like how I explain it here. And this is the example. And I said this one, sine times cos, will always be the middle term. You're gonna see it. You're gonna need it very, 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 very soon. So far, so good.